in the person of um, our Bliss students. Am I correct? Mga Bliss students, no? So, and of course, I also welcome everyone who's joining us online. I believe they are our participants in our PAYAC module for module 2. And it so happens that OER is actually the first lesson for module 2. That's why we are also well attended online. Okay, so the students here, I have my student audience here, and of course, online we have our teachers and our librarian audiences. All right, so for the afternoon, I will be going through the slides of what an OER is and what you can just really an overview, because especially for our online participants, you have already viewed for sure the portion of the explanation or the nature of OER and what we can benefit from it. Now, I will just show you some of the portions of the importance of OER. So basically, because during the last time that I had a talk about OER, I was asked, when was OER really? What is the history of OER? When did it actually come into existence? Now, as early as the 1970s, maybe late 1970s, it was gradually sprouting. No, maybe it didn't have the tag of OER. Maybe that time, maybe just free content or something like that. And then around mga 1990s, around 1992 to 1998, the famous David Wiley, the one who is responsible for Wiley and Blackwell publications or publishing, actually was the one who actually coined or maybe brought out the term open educational resources. And early 2000s, it was already some of the schools have already adapted to making use of an OER. And it's just, I don't know if it's unfortunate or fortunate for us, because we were able to have, no, we were able to have our OER just recently. I myself have been a user of OER. OER since maybe around 2015, ngayon, Ana. And then later on, no, I became part of the projects for OER. So it's also very good for the students here, because later on in the future, as librarians, you will be you will be exposed to OER, no? So you will be exposed to OER. You might be admins of OER in the future. So this would be a very good opportunity for you to actually also have at least some skills or try out an OER. All right. So going back, because I was actually muted, no? Um, I was just describing what an OER is for our audience. Of course, you have already known what an OER is through our platform. Okay. So moving forward, when we say OER, there are general characteristics of OER. So most of the times, no, because it's already projected nowadays as something that's done online or accessed online. So most of the materials in OERs are online, but not necessarily all of them. Some of them could be accessed also through physical, really borrowing of a material or something, acquiring of a material, if by chance your own library has its own physical OER. Okay, and then the digital format allows the use and the sharing of and even the adaptation of the resource and for educational purpose setting than the original one. So maybe most of the times, especially for the students, you have already done this one. It's a non-educational material, but because maybe of our project or a report, you're able to reuse it or remix it in such a way that it becomes an educational material for you, no? So that is actually one very good trait of an OER, no? So most of the times it is educational in nature. The content is educational in nature, and they can be any type of learning resource used in an educational setting, no? So aside from those that are non-educational in nature, those the things that you could actually make use of are also part, no, those are some things that are part of the that are in the academe, or something that's resource the educational resources. Okay, so in here, I would also, I know that there are presence of librarians, especially in the online participants, no? So there's already the difference between OER and OER and open access, in such a way that when you say open educational resources, there are for all open educational resources, there's already that free access or customization is always permitted. Unlike in open access, no, scholarly works primarily created to document new knowledge and advance the scholarly conversion. There's also that free access, no, but most of the times it goes with scholarly books, scholarly journals. So it's more research oriented when we talk of materials that are open access. Well, when we talk about open educational resources, it comes in different forms. It could be like an open educational course, no, an application, a platform. It could be in the form of a video material, a text material. So it varies, no. There are more choices, we could say, when it comes to open educational resources over open access, because it's more of scholarly or research works. And then I know everyone is familiar with copyright. With copyright, in here we have to be familiar with the different types of Creative Commons licenses, because these are our this is our basis, no, on how we can be able to use OER content. No? So later on with the slides, I will show you also how we can be able to use OER. So it's really something that we have to look into how it is marked as Creative Commons when it comes to the licenses. So the first one is, so we will go first to the 5 R's of OER. So these are the characteristics of OERs that would really tell us how reusable it is to us, how we can be able to use it. So we have the 5 R's, namely, no, we have retain, no, we are able to acquire it, but because we just want to have like a copy of it, maybe you feel that way, especially for books that you love, no, you don't necessarily have to use it in a way that it's something that you use, but you just want to have a copy. Pwede siya. So it's actually pwede. So you just retain. So users have the right to make, archive, and own copies of the content. Okay, so just simply as that one. You want to download a book, you want to download an image because you want to have a copy of it. That's it. And then the second R is actually reuse. No, so I have been talking about the word reuse, but it does have a different meaning if we talk about the characteristics of an OER. Why? Because when we reuse, content can be reused in its unaltered form. Meaning if the slides are what you'd want to present in class, no, you could actually reuse it without doing anything with the slides, just the original form. That's reuse. So there is that capacity for the user to do that, no? When it comes to OER content. And then the third R is revise. What does this mean? Revise is already something that we're familiar with. With any material that we get online or something like that, we need to have the revision, no? So content can be adapted, adjusted, modified, or altered, which means no, we could actually do so many things about it. So many of us are already familiar with revise, no? So maybe not much with retain, no, but revise. So this is actually like the highlight of the R's, because you could actually like do something about it, and then present it as your own, for as long as, again, I have to go back to, you have to acknowledge the original user. Then we have the fourth one, which is remix. Okay, so what does this mean? No? What is the difference between revise and remix? You could actually have two OER materials, and then you try to combine it. No, combine those, both are not yours, or both are not originally yours. You could actually combine materials, OER materials, and then create something new out of it. So pwede po siya, no? So that is something different from revise because you will just have alterations in revise. In remix, you are trying to combine OER content. And then redistribute. Okay, so even if without it's not our original work, we have also the capacity or capability to redistribute whatever we have reused, whatever we have revised or remixed. No, so copies of the content can be shared with others in its original, revised, or remixed form. Okay, so again, back to but always acknowledge the original creator or inventor. Okay, so there. So I hope you have already have an idea of the characteristics of what you can do with your OER content. Okay. So of course, no, as we have already known the nature of OER, we also already know the 5 Rs. So for sure, we are benefited if we actually use OERs. Okay, so for teachers, okay, so in here, like for example, for us teachers, for the online audience, you could actually adapt like for example, a syllabus. You could actually just download a syllabus from an OER and make use of it. You could actually also even exams, no? So these are actually you could freely download or you could have it freely available to you. And then OERs are openly licensed to be modified. So again, no, openly licensed to be modified, remixed, redistributed. So we don't have a problem with that one without paying or requiring copyright permission. Because if there is like a payment to it, so it's not actually an OER material anymore. So which means, no, when for teachers, no, it's you have the capacity to really modify, remix, and reuse in your classroom confidently because it is already under there's no need for copyright permission for us. And number three, OERs can be easily linked or added to our learning management system. So this is what we are actually doing, and I will be sharing to you next in the next few slides. So those are for teachers. How about for students? For sure, no, you would be able to also see what you can do with OER. So in here, no, I know students really have the apprehension, especially of the copyright issues, no. So in here, if you are already using OER materials, then it won't be so much of a problem to you because these are the things that you can benefit it from. First is cost. I know that most of the times, especially if you want to download materials online, it would really cost something, no? And then it's not really that you could just make use of it maybe once or twice, no? So it would really benefit you in a way that it is for free. No, the fact that it is for free, you don't have to buy anything, and you don't have that much confidence of using the materials because you might commit copyright issues is not a problem to you already. And then anyone with an internet connection can access the materials, of course, without the payment again. And then students can preserve access to class materials after the course ends. So once a teacher is making use of open educational resource content, no, you as a student who benefits it from your teacher could also make use of it in other ways, no, without having to be um, problematic with your copyright issues. Okay. here we talk about the Creative Commons licenses. I have actually mentioned it earlier with the Creative Commons licenses. So there are like 6 Creative Commons licenses. No, so this is actually our sandigan when it comes to our OER materials. We have to look into these 6 in order for us to be able to see, no, which can be monetized. I mean, people are also looking at it, no, that way. There are materials that can be monetized. There are materials that cannot be monetized. So let's look into it. Okay. So the first one is the copyright attribution 4.0 for international, wherein, no, when you share, you can share and you can adapt. What does this mean? Copy and redistribute the material in any medium or format. Okay, so that means you can just copy whatever it is and then you can redistribute. Adapt, remix, transform, and build upon the material for any purpose. So you can actually revise. No? So you can actually revise for this one. So the second one is the same one. It is for free, and this is for share alike, no, international standards. Similar, it has actually similar characteristics. The third one is you can share. Okay, you can share and then copy and redistribute any material for any purpose, even commercially. So this time, no, because even commercially, you can actually sell it if you have revised it, you can sell it. So there is already that kind of Creative Commons license. And then for this one, this is the opposite. No, how come this is the opposite? You could actually do so many things. You can redistribute, but you cannot monetize it. No, meaning if you have made a creation or a remix and created a new one, there's no way that you can monetize it because it's actually done by the original author that this type of license is given to the work, so you cannot monetize it. Okay. And here, okay, so again, you cannot monetize and then you cannot share alike, which means you cannot just share, like for example, like the one that you would want to also have, that you cannot also share it with monetizing, no? So similar with the previous one, okay. Okay. And lastly is for the non-commercial. So non-commercial, it's you can only copy and redistribute the material in any medium or format. That's it. Copy and redistribute. So you cannot even like revise it or remix it. All right. So where can you be able? No, where can you be able to have your work um, um, marked with the Creative Commons type of license? No, so you can go to creativecommons.org and then you could just fill out the form. No, try to at least it's a very nice way, especially for you who are bliss students. No, you could try to have it like have it mark your work. No, so you could go there and then have you could also choose the license that you do want your work to have in order for you that if you want to share it in an OER, there's already the Creative Commons license on how far the users of your work can go with the sharing and the revision. Okay. So for that one, the rest of the afternoon, we will really try to look into. We will try to really look into an OER. Brittany. Ipapakita sa Zoom. Ano siya? Here. Is it seen already? All right. Okay na. Can it be seen without the? Sige. So in here, let me introduce to you that we have actually our own OER, and then we will register later on, and then we will try to really upload a content. Don't worry, that your content won't be shown right away as they are because the OER admins and of course the uploader or the contributor will have to do some communication first before the final publishing of the OER. Okay, so most of the times I have actually gone through this OERs during maybe mga 7 years, no, for 7 years, and as I have actually revisited them maybe around July, those there are already like of the 10 that I have visited, maybe around four have already um, did not work anymore, maybe because it wasn't able to sustain itself. I mean, OER is actually such a thing to sustain because we really need to have contributors in order for our users to have something to download or reuse. No, so the most that I have actually always it's my go-to OER during my teaching time now was actually Merlot. Now, if you look into Merlot now, it has already grown and it has already developed into a really good OER platform. Now, we actually have our own. No, so last year I together with Dr. Myra Villanueva and Assistant Professor Sarah Angela Ragay, we were in a project we were in a project with Dr. Davey Marshall, and we were the OER team because we were able, together with the developer, the developer of the platform, we were able to come up with the oursol.sc.edu.ph. So initially, it was just like a learning management system used for outsiders. No? So eventually, it became an OER because we realized that OER doesn't have to be just files. No, it could be like a course, it could be a platform that you could download. So in here, no, so for now, it is actually the home for instruction, research, extension, and community service contents, and it is of course for everyone, not just for Silimanians. And it offers three primary services. We have the open online course, the teaching resources, and an educational platform. So what can you do with our Soul OER? No, so in here we have we still can do the five. No, I wasn't able to place the other one, but yeah, we can still make use of whatever the 5 hours that we can use. We can actually use those the contents or the materials in our Soul OER, and then it actually what's good about the use of our RSOL OER, no, for that matter is there's a wide it widens the access to learning materials, no, and easily distributed, because whatever is in there, you could actually download it. Even the videos, you have the right to actually have it downloaded, even if in YouTube. And of course, augment content used in class. So again, that's why I said augment content used in class, because there are a lot of contents of our students, or maybe some teachers, no, that they just are put to waste in a sense, because it's not shared, it cannot be used by others. Yet you have put your time and effort in making it. Haven't you realized that one? No? So you could actually make use of that one by uploading it or contributing it, so that others would be able to make use of what you have put your efforts on. No? So there. And then you could also disseminate content quickly, because of an OER. If a lot of students, a lot of teachers, and of course librarians would go into our hub, then we could actually exchange contents there. And okay, so it's also we intend, no, our Arsol OER intends to highlight creativity and innovation, especially because you are recognized as the creator of your work. No? So if it's like if it's an application, especially for the students, if it's an application, then you will be highlighted. It's like your stepping stone to maybe being hired for maybe for your work, or maybe you could also be tapped to be part of maybe a greater project, especially if you are if your work is freely available in the OER. And innovate teaching, learning content and activities, as I have mentioned earlier. You could always have other remixing your work, and then it could actually also the new content that you have actually remixed or revised could actually be an innovation when it comes to teaching and learning. And then continuously improve resources, no, because with us right now, our resources should not be should not just die there, no. It should be like developing, and then continuously improving. So that is also one direction of the OER, because your material, you would take pride in your material. I am the original creator, but see, after like maybe a year or two, my material has actually progressed into something like this. No? So that is actually one goal of our soul TLR. And of course, exercise academic freedom. I have to also place exercise academic freedom, because most of the times it's an issue, especially in Siliman. We are very much into academic freedom, but how can you be able to do academic freedom if you're sharing all of your content, no? So what we actually have seen is the fact that in OER, you have the control of your content, and you can actually also manage how this your content could actually be distributed, or yeah. So in that sense, academic freedom is actually also practiced. And you could also make use of that academic freedom of sharing the content and making use of another, or making it into another new content, and then someone else is already also practicing academic freedom there. It's not just you, but also others who are using your content. Okay, so this is actually just like a repeat of the 5 R's. So let me just go directly to the site. So I would want, especially the students here, I would want you to access our soul. And for our audience as well, you could go to oursoul.su.edu.ph. Okay. So in here, so I would want you to just so that you'd have, let me navigate you through our Soul OER. So in here we have our 3 services. So if you click on the open online courses, you will be able to explore different courses um, that is offered to you through our soul, no? So we have these courses, and this could actually be accessed in a similar platform as my soul. I mean, everyone here, the students know how a MISO looks like. It actually looks the same. So it's an LMS. So whenever you click on open online courses, so you would expect that you would be directed to like a virtual classroom if you log in. Okay. And then another one is, so if you click actually on explore courses, it would look like this. The page should look like this. So very similar. It looks familiar to you because it is actually like um, the LMS that we use in Silliman. And then if we go back, we just click on the Our Soul at the upper left corner to go back to the main page. And then if we click on the educational platforms, so you could actually also share your educational platforms to us. So what is available is the PLMS, and then we have our learning trail and responsible social media, and of course the one that's being used in the GE classes in Siliman, which is the SU whole person education game. So these are actually applications that's downloadable and anyone could actually use. Okay. The one that's really driving us to contribute is in the teaching learning resources portion. So if you click on that one, you actually have two categories. The courseware, meaning if you are able to develop a courseware, students, and you'd want to actually share that courseware um, to everyone in the OER, then you could also do that. No, so we are actually Moodle based. So just the courseware should be Moodle based, and you could actually download it there. And so these are all downloadables, but of course you have to have the right capacity to also configure it on your own. And the one that we will be exploring this afternoon is the resources portion. So I would want everyone to click on the resources portion. Let me just give me a thumbs up if, for especially for our online participants, if we are directed to the teaching learning resources. Teaching learning resources, is it seen? Okay, so we are in the teaching learning resources. So in here we will be active members of the OER. Now, not necessarily we could actually register, we could download materials, and we could also contribute our materials. So for the afternoon, let us try all these three. No? So all these three. So we will be able to register. Okay, so I would want everyone to register first. So all you have to do is click on the register at the upper right portion, and then all you have to do is um, fill out the form, and then don't forget to also state the agreement statements here. And then when you click on register, you are automatically registered, so you would know because your name will appear at the upper right away. Okay? Sige. Sige. So hopefully our participants online could also do that one, especially if we haven't done that yet for our activity in lesson one. So the first activity that we have actually is doing the registration and of course documenting it. So kindly do it with us, trying to register in our OER. Registering, of course, because it's in OER, is for free. For those who are already registered for those in the online for those online participants, if you're already registered, then you could just log in to the system so that we will be able to do the next move. Okay. and I have trouble logging in. Let me just register another one. And then first is let us try to download first or acquire. All we have to do is acquire a Okay, so the first thing we can do is actually acquire or get any material that will be useful to us. Okay, so all you have to do is either click on the topics portion, the topics menu, or you could also go and click on search and then search maybe by author or maybe by topic. So most our OER is still very new. No, not all featured topics have content yet. So we could actually go to most of the times if they are educational resources, and we could go to social sciences. So if you click on that one here, like for example, you'd go to social sciences, okay? And then you would be able to see those materials that have been actually uploaded, okay? And then most of them are actually video in nature. But let's see. Let's try to look um, for a file. Okay, so course syllabus. So let's try this one. So if we click on any of the course syllabus there, or any of those that has like a file at the bottom, if you click on that particular content, okay, so here, no, you would actually also see how many times that content has been used by the user at the bottom. And all you have to do is actually just click on the icon just below the thumbnail of the topic. No, so the description, of course, of what you're trying to download is there, and then you could also access or download right away the content. So you just click on that course syllabus at the bottom of the thumbnail, and you can access it right away. Okay. Okay. You will be like redirected to a PDF version, maybe, or yeah, or just a view of what you are to download, and then you could just click download at the upper right corner, and then there you go. You can download your material right away. So that's how easy it is, no? But of course, we still also have to make use of our own materials. We have to also share. For me, no, for me, I also believe, no, this is the value part of maybe being in an OER platform is the value of sharing, because we cannot be able to access a wide variety of content if there are minimal sharing or minimal contribution done. No, so if we want to make use of the content, we also have to be able to contribute or share what we have, so that the others or people like us who are making use of the content will also have a wide range of content or wide range of materials to download. Okay, so that's actually the essence of it. So before we go into the upload, no? So I will give you like maybe 5 to 10 minutes or 5 minutes will do, no? Just so you'd have like a material to upload. It doesn't have to be the best material that you have. Just choose like a material that you'd want to share. Ana lang, no? So for our online participants also, I will be giving you like 5 minutes to actually look into something that you want to share. Don't worry, it won't be shared right away or published right away because the admin, the OER admin had to also communicate with you before it is officially published. Okay? Okay, we're back. Especially for the online participants. I really gave you time, no? So I actually muted myself and also removed the camera so as to give you time. No, it's also our way of having a break. No, giving you time to actually prepare your materials for upload. No? So as I see from the students here, they're very excited. They're already in the process of actually making submissions. But how do we make submissions, especially in our sole OER? Okay, so everyone, kindly just click on make sure. By the way, make sure that we're logged in. Okay, so you need to be logged in, especially if you want to contribute or you want to upload your content. No, there's no need for you to log in if you only need to download any content. Okay, so for this session, we need to log in. So make sure you're logged in, and then we click on make submission. Okay, and then we click another one here, make new submission at the side, just below the big submission title. And then in here, okay, so if you want to have like additions to what you need to upload, then you could place it in the comments for editor if you have special instructions for the editor. And then all you have to do is click or tick on the agreement statements again. And then you need to click on save and continue in order for you to be able to upload your file. So in here, that's the time you upload your file. Okay, so again, what you have prepared for the last 5 minutes, kindly upload that file. Okay. And then once it's already there, try to also categorize what kind of file is that. Is that a video file? Is that a text file? So you have to also, is that a learning material? So most of the times it's a learning material. So like, for example, it's a video file that's a learning material. You could just categorize it as that. And then you click on save and continue. Okay. So you'd also want to know, we also would want to know the title or at least the information about your content, no? So for this one, it's okay. So most of the times, the description portion of your material will have to be placed here, not on the first page or not on the first step. No, not the description. The first one in the start page is actually your instructions to the editor or the person in charge of the OER. Okay, this is where you place the information about your content. So there, if you have like your description for your content, actually you should have a description of your content so that your viewers or your users would be able to have an idea of what it is. And then aside from you, if for example, no, for aside from you, if there are other contributors or other authors of that work, then you could also add in the contributor portion. If it's really from you, then that would do. And then the type. So for me, it's actually it's a document file. So I'll just place text. Okay. Okay. So other things, though it is not a requirement, no, you could actually like place keywords in order for the users to be able to type that one in order to get or to have your file, or your file will actually come out if that keyword will be typed. And then if you're all done, then you click on save and continue. Okay, we click on finish submission. And there's still a confirmation if you're really sure to actually have contribute your work. So are you sure you wish to submit this course to Hours of Teaching and Learning Resources? You click on OK. And there you go. So you will have an idea of what will happen next. So this is, you will have to be in communication with the OER admin who is assigned to assigned on your work. No? So you will receive an email. So try to look at the email that you have used in here. Try to look at the email. If it's not found in the inbox, it should be found in spam. Try to see if you look at it there, especially for our um, online participants. No, you should be able to receive that one because that is actually your ticket to the next activity for lesson 2 maybe, or no, for lesson, I think for lesson for module 3. So kindly make sure to be able to receive uh, something, no, something from the upload or from the submission that you did. So were you able, especially the students, were you able to get it? Okay, so yes, for sure you would be able to receive an email. Okay, so again, no, so that is how you would be able to upload your file. Okay. Okay. Questions? Okay, to our online participants, do we have questions? If you have questions, then you could always type it in our chat box. For our student participants here, any questions? None. Okay, so I hope no. So okay, so we haven't received any questions from our audience. Yes po, kasali po ang sa activity ang online participants. Yes, So we really hope, actually this is something that you could make use, we could actually use especially for our performance task, for the online participants, no? So later on, maybe if you cannot do it right away now, you should be able to do it also in with your activity, with your performance task, because that will be something that will lead you to the evaluation and of course module 3. So I hope I answered that. Okay, so again, you have to, we will have to redo this for the online participants. It's actually oursoul.su.edu.ph. Okay. For those who were not able to Well, let me just give you the uh, so I have placed in the chat box the URL for the teaching learning resource page so that you'd go there right away. And I hope you'd be able to follow. By the way, especially for the online participants, I have also made sure that a video is available to you, especially on how to upload your material. So it won't be a problem. Okay? Yes po, from Sham Al Puerto, you can do that. You can actually um, upload case studies, old case studies, and research materials or research content that you have, and you'd want to share it to everyone. Then it's most welcome. Okay. So we will just be here for a few more minutes so that we can also cater to some of your questions here. For our live audience, they don't have a question. They were actually ahead of us in doing the submission. Yes, any file po will do, no? So if you want to actually, like for example, it's a video file and then you place it in your Google Drive, you could actually like place it in the editor portion, maybe there, and then the description portion, you could also place it there so that we would know.
I have a question.
Yes.
So anything basically.
Yes, anything,
So
no?
this is, doesn't have to be like anything.
A file, yes.
Just to like, parang developing.
Yes, yes. It's really just letting you experience the process of sharing in an OER. But really, if you have like, that's why I said anything inside the educational platform. If you have something, an app to share, you could actually share it. Pwede naman. Or if you have like for our online participants, it's more of teaching learning materials, especially for the teachers, no? So, but teaching learning materials would be, it could also be a video. It could also be maybe an app that you have made use of, no? So it's actually anything, no? So anything is actually welcome.
My question.
Okay. Can we edit the file later for updating? The file would mean it would be another submission, ma'am. Ma'am Melanie Lagasca. So it would be like another submission. It's like an update of your file, but it's yeah. So it will be available again. No? So it will be available again. So for now, whatever we have agreed, especially like for example, I am the admin of the OER, and we have agreed that this is the content or the file to publish, then we publish it. Then you realize that you need to update it or you need to edit it. So it is considered a new submission. No, so it will be available again. So the two files will be available to everyone. But of course, you could always place like an update to something like that, or maybe in the description portion, you could place an update to the previous file. Other questions? So again, let me reiterate, no? So at least someone has sparked the question here that, yeah, so I could just actually upload anything, not just a file. So yes, no? So especially for those who would want to be to also contribute to the courseware or maybe to the educational platforms, you are very much welcome. Other questions before we end the afternoon? So here is the catch. So it doesn't mean that you have already uploaded that this is the final one that has to be published. No, so you still have to like receive maybe, or if you cannot receive like anything from the editor, then that means that particular file is really good for publishing already. So most of the times we have to like have a communication with the content creator. Okay? So if there are no more questions, then I guess we're done for the afternoon. We have actually achieved our endeavor for the afternoon, and that is to be able to be part of the OER community. So I'm very hopeful. No, I'm very hopeful that you will be one of us in the OER community, because this is something that needs everyone's support, everyone's contribution in order for it to prosper and to even develop and be able to also provide a lot of a varied content for free to everyone. So aside from the fact that we can actually benefit from it by downloading content, we would want it to be, let's say, more flourished when it comes to availability of content. So we welcome all of your contributions. We expect and we hope to see your contributions in our OER. Thank you very much and good afternoon. Ay, magtutuo ka ta? By the way, before we go, no, before everyone goes, kindly turn on your webcams so we could have like a high flex type of photo opportunity. So I would want to ask, let me ask our students to come here in front for the photo opportunity. Kindly come here. Okay, so actually, some of you looks familiar because you might have been my students in live ICT, no? And this guy has been my student since. And then, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, come here, come here. So you will be the one to take the picture, Miss Grace. Okay. So how about ipakita ilahang mga faces? So, dali David, come here. Okay, so all right, so we have like 3 pages next to our okay. Okay. So friend, you take a picture here. Ang sama.
Napil sa kasi.
Oh, so pwede ra di ay. Pwede ra because come here. Virtual and real photo opportunity in one. Okay, sige. Okay na ta? Sige. 1, 2, 3. Show your best smile for those with us online. For us with here, so it's a silent smile and a shown smile.
Hold your smile.
Hold your smile. Dili na ito yung makabukas amo ang mask.
Kung mask off mo.
Ha? Mask off?
Yes, ma'am.
Ha? Okay, so mask off for the... Okay na?
Sige, ma'am.
Okay, sige, pwede ay.
Closer lang.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us.